Okay, the second part of question 25 was talking about the two algorithms and whether they are equivalent. And it was a not very well answered question, and most people suggested they were equivalent, and I'm going to show you that they're not. And this is a method you could use in the exam to prove that they're not. So a desk check for algorithm A and algorithm B, I'm going to do that on this page. And I have three sets of input data. This one, I'm going to use input data 1, which is that the first input is 8. So let's look at algorithm A first. We have get input from user. So the input from the user is 8, while input is less than 10, which it is. Get input from the user, which is now 10. And while, go back up to the while and then say while input less than 10, and it's not, so we skip over the while and go straight to the print. So we print 10 to screen, and then that's the end of that algorithm. Now let's look at algorithm B. Same test data. So we get input from the user, it's 8. We then repeat, we get input from the user again, it's 10. Now what happens? Input greater than 10. Is it greater than 10? No, it's not. So we're going to go up to the repeat and we're going to get input from the user again, which is 12. And then it will say input is greater than 10. Yes, it is. So then it will come out and go to the print to screen. Sorry that I didn't leave enough squares. So that's showing you straight away that there is a set of data for which they are not equivalent. And there's also another curly reason why they're not equivalent, and I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so doing the same thing again, only this time we're doing it with input 2. So let's get input from the user. While the input is 10. While the input is less than 10, so we're here, it's not, it is 10, so it will go straight to the end while, and then it will print out input, which is here. Now, let's look at algorithm B. Begin, get input from the user is 10. We then do the repeat. So we get input from the user again. The second input is 12. Until input is greater than 10, which it is, then it prints input, which is 12. So you'll see that these are two different outcomes, and that's because of the pre-test loop versus post-test loop. Doing what's inside the loop guaranteed if it's a post-test loop, and maybe not if it's a pre-test loop. And this is a big difference. We had a worksheet on this earlier in the year. Okay, now the final one we're going to look at is this one here, and it makes things really wacky. Okay, so with algorithm A, it's pretty straightforward. Input is 10, it goes straight over the while, jumps down to print out input, which is 10. Done. Algorithm B is a little bit stranger. So get input from user, let's go 10. Then it would get input from user, which is 8. 8 is not greater than 10. So then we go back up and do it again, and then we get input from user, and it's 12, and then we'll output the 12. So it's doing more work than algorithm A to get to a different result. So they are quite definitely not the same algorithm.